sleek car for the open road or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take one for Gene Principe. Hey, thanks for being on time.
I'm always punctual. Now, how about some cool beats while I drop the heat?
Ready when you are.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for AC season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike Legacy, I never know when to cool it.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3. Saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
The longest-running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the 2 best names in the boots business.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
You need the lowdown? It's with Lowetide right now on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Welcome to the Lowdown. Today's show, Oilers season over. Oilers at a crossroads. This summer is going to be full of loud noises. The Lowdown is brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick on Sports 1440 and YouTube. It's Truck Month featuring their best deals of the year. Ask about 0% financing plus extra discounts for Costco members. WolfGMCBuick.com. You know, this much sadness is too much sorrow. The Edmonton Oilers, for over a decade now, have been trying to win a Stanley Cup with elite talent at the top. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, now Evan Bouchard. Daryl Cates is going to do a review of the Edmonton Oilers organization, and he needs to reset the structure on and off the ice. During training camp, Chris Knobloch set a course with Connor McDavid on one line and Leon Draisaitl on another line. And then the day before opening night, he announced that it had changed. Why? What is it about the Edmonton Oilers that has this happen every year? I want a hard target search of every gas station, residence, warehouse, farmhouse, hen house, outhouse, and doghouse in the area of Rogers Place. The call is coming from inside the house. Why do the Edmonton Oilers do that? It's not a good idea. If the owner is interfering, he needs to stop it. If the players are dictating the lines, that won't work either. When you hire a manager and a coach, there has to be room given to wheel. Otherwise, you get what you saw this season. Lack of attention to detail, few winning streaks of 3 games or more, and general indifference. I know they're tired, but there's something very wrong with this Edmonton Oilers team right now. Now, I'm not privy to everything, but I do know that an NHL coach who wants to win starts as he means to go. Why did Knobloch change course at the end of camp? And when he said McDavid and Draisaitl were going to be on the same line, why did Stan Bowman not react to that, even though it meant his summer's work had been flushed in a heartbeat? This is not normal. This isn't how NHL teams work. It isn't how successful teams work. It isn't how successful businesses work. If I'm Daryl Cates, I tell Stan Bowman and Chris Knobloch, not one dime spent on July 1st. You want a free agent, make it an offer sheet. Because I'm not at all sure that this team will ever win anything under the current structure. You can fire the manager, you can fire the coach, you can fire the goaltenders into the sun. Sooner or later, you have to realize you've developed a past. The Edmonton Oilers are interested in things other than winning. Until that is fixed, talking about specific players is absolutely ridiculous. This is not about the goaltenders. This is not about the defense. This is not about the coach. It's not about the manager. It's about the structure of this team and who makes the decisions and why you change the night before the opener. And throughout the year, you have indifference and general malaise. That's what we saw. I know they're tired. I understand it. This is not a working system. And I know we're going to send another goaltender away, and it's going to be the goalie's fault. And Darnell Nurse is atrocious, and Connor McDavid just needs a little bit more. Folks, not working. They need to get Bruce Cassidy, and they won't. Why? What stops the Edmonton Oilers from being serious about winning hockey games? It has to change. And I don't know that it will. And it always starts at the top. Our headliner of the day is Steve Lansky from the Hockey News, brought to you by Faber.ca. As you know, we're live on YouTube and Sports 1440, iHeartRadio, Sports1440.ca, and Radio Player Canada. After the show, we're on Apple and Spotify podcast, and we tweet it out on X. We're on Twitter at Lowetide, at Declan Krueger, and at JFenwick04. You can text anytime, 833-401-1440. That's 833-401-1440. We also have, aside from Steve Lansky, we have rumors, and of course we have declinations too. Now, the introductions. He's happy the Oilers season is over because he thinks I'll stop ranting about the stretch pass, but I won't. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick, everybody.
Hey, no, I'm there with you with the stretch pass. You know, there's like just watching it last night and sort of just talking about it with my lovely lady. I finally, like, it was like the puzzle pieces connected, and I was like, oh my god, I get what Lowetide's talking about now. Like I understand. Like,
it's so why you got all this talent? Why are you doing this?
It was like that galaxy brain meme.
But be honest, part of you is like, I'm closer to 2029. And June, when the Calgary Flames win the next.
I was going to be closer to June 2029, regardless if the Oilers won or not, because it was one day closer. So, you know,
it makes it easier.
But,
come on,
yeah, you know, like I got to tweet out some very funny stuff today because I immediately went to bed after the game was over. But yeah, woke up to some nice tweets, messages, all those things.
I wrote most of an Athletic article after the game, just so you know how.
Very good. I'm impressed.
There you go. He is wildly disappointed in the Edmonton Oilers, and he wants answers. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Declan Krueger. Declan Krueger, everybody.
Well, it feels a little surreal, doesn't it? And I know, you know, we're gonna kind of do a roundtable, give our takes here in a second. Yeah. Hey, good intro. One of your most apt. That's for sure.
Well, I think that you know, what I will be disappointed in this year, in this offseason, is if the goaltenders and the coach are the only ones to get the blame. Because you tell me, you know, if you're a football guy, you love football and you love basketball.
And hockey.
But you followed very closely. If on the eve of opening, like the opening weekend, the Elks change the quarterback, and there's no reason except that, you know, they just announce it. Would that not, you know, wouldn't, in the words of Dave Jameson, wouldn't that raise a Spockian eyebrow? And the general manager would go, what the hell's going on? but the Oilers are run in a different way. It's clear they are. And I'm calling it out today because it's as plain as anything. And last night they lost, but they lost much earlier than last night. They spent the last 11 games playing structured. Leon Draisaitl wasn't in the game. And now they bring Leon Draisaitl in. It should be an uplifting moment, and yet they cannot tie their own shoes. They can't play defense. It's everybody else's fault. The power play goes to hell. The penalty kill is so bad. Why? Why are the Edmonton Oilers like this? It has to be that there's two sets of rules. There's a set of rules for the superstars, and there's a set of rules for the ordinary players, and I get that, and I understand it. But why is it so clear? And why can't they win as a team? Why? That's what I want to know. And it has nothing to do with the goalie, and it really doesn't have a lot to do with the coach or the manager. I think it goes higher than that, and it's probably interference. And as long as that happens, the Edmonton Oilers are going nowhere. Nowhere. I've had my say.
Very eloquent.
Yeah, I guess I'll jump in here first. I break out my notepad. Also, very well said, obviously. That kind of goes without saying. Yeah, initial thoughts. Listen, this is obviously disappointing. Like, no one expected this result. I think Connor said it best, that this was a team that was an average team all year with high expectations, and that was obviously evident in the final record. That was evident in the stretches of games they had where they wouldn't play well defensively. And now it's obviously evident in this series-ending loss to the Ducks. I thought their inability to keep pace with Anaheim was something that really shocked me. Like, Anaheim, I give Anaheim full marks. They go 120 all the time and actually kick it up to 140. And the whole time it's kind of like Edmonton's trying to keep it neutral, and they just couldn't figure it out. The special teams throughout the series, obviously the penalty kills specifically, were huge. Like, we talk a lot about 5-on-5, and of course 5-on-5 is most pertinent. It means the most. The majority of the game is played there. But anytime someone doesn't want to bring up special teams numbers, I kind of point to this series and say, hey, well, it cost you a series a little bit. Like Evan Bouchard, who I go to bat for, I think is an unbelievably elite defender who I don't think just gets the benefit of playing with Connor and Leon. I think they get the benefit of playing with him too, because I think he is that good. But it wasn't a banner night. I mean, that final turnover, Anaheim was putting their foot on the gas so hard and really seemed in control of the game. That turnover along the boards there kind of seemed to be the one that was the nail in the coffin. You could tell he kind of felt the way he smashed the stick. The big dog's got to be a little bit better. I know that's not a popular sentiment around here. I know no one ever wants to kind of point to that, but Connor, he was -8, 2 even strength points, 1 goal in this entire series. And I know he was hurt. I fully agree with that. I completely understand. I recognize that, but I got curious. So I went back and looked at Connor and Leon's numbers, and I actually tweeted this for anyone who follows me on Twitter. I went back and I looked at Connor and Leon's numbers in the last game of the last 4 seasons. So that's 23 against Vegas, 24 and 25 against Florida, and 26 against Anaheim. Leon in those games, 0-0-0. That's goal. This is goals, assists, points. 0-0-0 -4, 0-0-0 -1, 0-0-0 -4, 0-1-1 -1. Connor, 1-0-1-0, 0-0-0-0, 0-0-0 -4, 0-0-0 -3. Now that plus minus, which is -17, that's a little bit, they're on ice at the end of games with some empty net goals, so that is a little bit skewed. But you have a combined 1 goal, 2 point, and -17 in the last final 4 games of the season. The big dog's got to be a little bit bigger in these biggest moments. The silver lining, and this is the last bullet point I've written down here, is I don't think any of us believed Edmonton could win the Stanley Cup this year. Obviously, I mean, you couldn't beat Anaheim. You're not going to win the Stanley Cup. I think it'll be nice. You've played a lot of hockey over the last 2 years. I know some people don't always buy into that. I don't think you were going to win the cup this year. I think it's nice that you went out a little bit earlier and you can have a full mental and physical reset. Obviously, we'll get into organizational changes later in the show. But if you're looking for a silver lining, because, hey, let's face it, that's all we can look for right now. I think that's one of them. I think that is the one, I should say.
Yeah, I agree. Again, you guys both put it very well. I don't know how much
eloquent
more.
Even.
Eloquent, yes. The word I used earlier. The one I thought about was, the keeping pace, and man, just what the hell is wrong with this team? And then finally coming out in the third, right at the beginning, I clocked in. I was like, oh, he went back to the old lines. And what happens, I think 10 seconds after I said that, I think it was Vasily Podkolzin got the goal. Yeah. I'm like, oh, why did they ever break that lineup?
Especially on the road.
On the road. And
why can't we give him some time on ice at the end of the game?
That's what I'm saying.
You've been your best player. Him and Cap.
And so with Dry centering them, it hasn't mattered all season. Who has been their defensive, who's been the D pair that's played with them? Those three all year. I remember us saying it even like midway through November, that is the Edmonton Oilers top line. Like Connor McDavid's on the first line, but the Leon Draisaitl, Vasily Podkolzin, Kasperi Kapanen line, or whoever was playing in the Kapanen spot when he was out, I believe it was Roslovic, was like, that is the best line this Edmonton Oilers team can ice right now because they can score. They hit everything that moves. Like that is a classic hockey line right there. And you saw it at the beginning of the third. And then in the last 5 minutes, you don't put Vasily Podkolzin or Kasperi Kapanen out on the ice. You go back to a nuclear line that had not worked all game. What are you thinking? So anyways, that's a big gripe there. And the other one I thought about was that, yes, the Oilers just looked like they did not want to be there. They looked slow. They looked lackadaisical. Meanwhile, the Anaheim Ducks were everywhere. They were laying out hits. They controlled the puck in almost every facet of the game, it felt like. So it was not a pretty game to end on this season for the Edmonton Oilers.
On March 15th, Leon Draisaitl played his final game of the regular season. There were 14 games afterwards. The Oilers won 8, lost 4, and tied 2. Their goal share, at 5-on-5 anyway, was 29-27. They had a .903 save percentage. They weren't scoring a pile, but they were playing good defense. They were playing sound defense. They were also scoring on the power play. So in the world of hockey, when your team is playing pretty well down the stretch, I mentioned the final 14 games, final 11 games were even better, and you add Leon Draisaitl, why doesn't that work? Why doesn't it work? There's only a few reasons it can be. Either the structure of the team in terms of who manages and who coaches and who makes the decisions is addled, and that is possible. Injuries had a bigger impact than we're even willing to believe. Luck, all of those things could be. But there's something wrong. I'm convinced of it. And I really do think that if I'm a really good coach and the Edmonton Oilers approach me to replace Chris Knobloch, the first thing I say is, how much control do I have? And if the Edmonton Oilers replace me or want to replace Dan Bowman and they approach a general manager, the first thing I would say is, how much interference is there going to be? What's going to happen? Am I going to go out on July 1st and sign a bunch of guys, and then the night before the season, you guys change your mind, whoever it is, and then I've got to go a different route? This is classic mismanagement. And, you know, I've had enough of this Edmonton Oilers team doing this. Either the superstars won't listen, or the coach can't teach them, or they simply go out and do what they want. And I think that any of those answers are awful for Edmonton Oilers fans. And Daryl Katz can do all of the looking into the system and all of the forensic monitoring he possibly can do. But at some level, I'm asking the question, is Daryl Katz the right guy to do it? Because he's been here longer than anybody. And since 2015, they've had great players, and they haven't won a Stanley Cup. I'll give them credit. They made it 2 finals, and that does count for something. But enough of this. Come on, man. Get it together. When you change everything, opening night, all preseason, July 1st, all the trades were leveled towards something that involved Connor McDavid on one line, Leon Draisaitl on the other, and then in a heartbeat, you change it. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Come on. Everybody knows it. Why isn't anybody saying it? Say it out loud, starting today. Why do you do this stuff? And why does everybody accept it like it's normal? Did the Florida Panthers do that the year they won the Stanley Cup, the 2 years they won the Stanley Cup? Maybe the forensic should be, this is how we do it. How do other teams do it? And then do that. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
For many families, the stress of divorce can throw your life out of balance. The loss of a relationship, ongoing conflict, mounting legal bills, and uncertainty about the future can feel overwhelming. Hi, I'm Corey Anderson with Fairway Divorce Solutions. At Fairway, our team helps you restore balance through mediation, negotiation, and a unique step-by-step process. With 2 offices in Edmonton dedicated to serving your needs, our goal is simple: to help you navigate a path back to peace and clarity. Visit us today at Fairway Divorce.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com. Whether you're refinancing or buying your first home, mortgages are easier with help from a neighbor. At Vision Credit Union, you get face-to-face guidance from local lenders who know the market because, well, they live here too. They'll look at your whole financial picture with practical advice for payments, renewals, refinancing, and what makes sense long-term. Get a more neighborly mortgage. Contact your branch today or visit visioncu.ca.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, jersey barriers, and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit sports encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. It's truck month. Check them out. WolfGMCBuick.com. Lovely day today. Springtime. I think it was mid-Feb when I said spring was here, and it's been quite nice since. I'm watching golf right now. Does anybody else love watching golf except that even though I'm watching it, I fall asleep a lot? It's serene. I just think it's like those tapes that they make, for you are near the ocean, and they're supposed to make you sleep. Man, put on golf. It's so good for the soul. It's so relaxing. I watch the Masters every year because it's like they barely talk and there's like not a lot of commercials or anything. And it's just, even the music is like, it's so serene, I don't think we get enough of that now. Do you get a lot of that in your life, you guys?
What, serene sounds?
Yeah, well, and just like relaxing, and you're looking at beautiful scenery, and even the guy who hits in the water isn't that upset because he's at the Masters.
Yeah, like my front porch is pretty nice, or front balcony, or whatever it is I'm allowed to supposed to call it. I don't know. Is nice. Like it looks out to the river valley, but like you can't see the river. It's just all trees, and it's a dead end road. So I'm just surrounded by greenery. It's very lovely.
Wow. What about you, Declan? What do you do? Do you watch golf, or do you watch the 76ers to calm down.
Well, nothing about the 76ers calms you down because nothing about them makes sense. It like breaks your brain a little bit. I love I consider myself I fashion myself a very big morning guy because I love the sunrise. Like I love being up when it's peaceful, cup of coffee, especially like spring, summer, fall morning. Winter a little bit less so because it's obviously so dark. I think Josh just laughed at me even though I'm painting the most beautiful word picture.
Yeah, it's a beautiful word picture, but you're not a morning guy.
No, I am. Now I see why you say that because
you hate waking up.
No, I see. I actually like my favorite shift I ever worked was my internship. It was 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. And it was like I went to Brandon one time, like probably a year ago, and I asked him, I was like, hey, do you want to trade jobs? Now he did say no, but the reason I asked was because I wanted that. I love the early morning. Like I love getting up when it's peaceful. I love the sunrise. I love the calmness of it all.
Did you ever see the movie City of Angels with Nicolas Cage?
No, but I can't believe I haven't. If it's a Nick Cage product,
well, he's a guardian angel, and in the sunrise and set, all of the angels on Earth who aren't seen by people go to the ocean and watch the waves and watch the sun go down. And when you created that gorgeous word salad about serenity, that's what I thought of.
I just drive to work every morning shouting expletives about why do I have to be up so early, and then I walk into the studio and I go, man, I love my job.
You're like the main character from Office Space.
Oh my god,
yeah.
Or what's that? What's the movie about the Rage in the Cage guy? Oh damn it,
Spider-Man?
No, he's driving to work. He's driving to work.
He said Spider-Man.
Is it Michael Douglas?
Yeah, it is, and yes, it is. It's
that's you.
No, actually, I think the more apt description of me like driving to work and what is that actually like is the one scene in Prisoners with Hugh Jackman shouting at Jake Gyllenhaal. That is more apt to what it is, but I'm shouting at nobody.
What's the name of that damn movie?
Falling Down.
Falling Down. Yeah, great movie.
Had to look it up. But
that's Josh right there. All right, it's time for Rumors, brought to you by Great Canadian Solar. Great Canadian Solar has been helping homeowners and businesses harness the power of the sun for 15 years. Invest in solar and yourself. GreatCanadianSolar.com. All right. A few things I'm going to get that people have texted in since my rant at the top of the show and all of our comments at the top of the show. Leon is predictable and one-dimensional on the power play. I feel he's selfish and wants to that one-timer. But here's the thing. Leon wants to win. So if they fix or do anything to tweak the power play, I'm sure he'll be all in on it, right? And they didn't. The special teams the penalty kill cost them the series, and you can't have that because that 5-on-5 they did well, they really did, except for last night when they were playing McDavid and Draisaitl together on one line, which I don't know why you would do that on the road. It didn't work out. It hasn't worked out for 11 years now. But having said that, the power play can be fixed. Leon has to be on the power play. Entertainment. Well, hold on. Darren says, I'm a huge Oilers fan, but everything I hear from the ownership and upper management, I keep losing my grip on the franchise. GM after GM keep making horrible decisions. Kate's threatened City with building the arena. Well, that was a long time ago. You can talk about it, but that doesn't really have anything to do with this team right now. Holds exclusive rights to entertainment in the downtown every year. For the past 5 years, I've reduced my fandom. Today, I'm no longer completely defensive to 97 and 29 asking to be traded. There you go. That's Darren. I think a lot of people are kind of at the end of their rope now. Now, they played a lot of hockey since the fall of 2023. They may have a great year next year. But I'll tell you, there was a lot wrong with this season. And I think it really did start in training camp. And I still don't know why Stan Bowman took it. All those moves that he made on July 1st went out the window before opening night. How do you do that? How is this okay with everybody? Falling Down, says Lokesh. That's a great movie. I mean, it's not a movie you'd watch, with the little kids or anything, but it really is a great movie, especially when he's trying to order breakfast and it's like 2 minutes late.
It's almost one you should, just so you're like, hey, don't do that.
I don't know. Kids get afraid of...
Bro, as a kid, I was scared of Stuart Little because I thought the cat was going to eat the mouse. How about that?
Well, when I was a kid, I remember my mom and dad talking to us about the violence of the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner show. And I knew then, even as a little kid, that my family might have a little different view of the world compared to everybody else because it's a, animated children's show. Hey, guys, I might be a little bit early, but with Vancouver going nowhere anytime soon, what do you think the chances the Oilers couldn't pry DeBrusk out of there this summer? Sure would look good on Leon's wing. I don't disagree with the idea. I don't know if DeBrusk is the right guy, but I would like to see another winger come in. I think Podkolzin is absolute money. I love Savoy for next year and the years after because he's a really good two-way guy. And, of course, you're contractually bound to a lot of different players like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman, and they're still playing well enough to play in feature roles. As time goes on, they won't be, but right now they are. But I'd like to have, let's take Nuge on left wing as an example. Let's say he starts opening night with McDavid and Hyman. You've got Podkolzin for the Draisaitl line, and you've got, Ike Howard maybe for the third line, but I wouldn't mind having a 27-year-old left winger on the team capable of punting one of those guys if they're not playing well. Get real depth, and you're going to have to trade people. I mean, we haven't talked about who's going, but I think that this is the time to aggressively ask Darnell Nurse if he wants to go somewhere else. I think this is a time to not sign any free agent forward not named Kasperi Kapanen, and only sign him if it's a reasonable deal without a no movement clause, and you have extra money to spend. And I think the move might be. If you're moving Darnell Nurse, find a team that has a forward who can score goals, who is also making outer edge or a little more coin on the AAV, and maybe a Nurse for whomever deal could be struck. I don't know that that's DeBrusk. I'm just thinking out loud. LT Lucas Dostal has worst stats among active playoff goalies, so Oilers fans can put to rest the notion that goaltending has cost the Oilers cups. Well, but it doesn't put anything to rest, and my point has always been, I didn't want the Oilers to do exactly what they did. Last year, they started the year with a bunch of guys who were all UFA, and then they acquired another UFA to be in Connor Ingram. So the ideal would have been to run Skinner and Ingram together. It didn't happen. The word we got was the players didn't want Stuart Skinner to get waved through, so they didn't do that. And then they trade for Tishanjari, who's got a 2-year deal for a lot of money, and it's on the books now. And if you were going to trade it after the year that he just had with Edmonton, you'd have to have a sweetener. So I'm not in favor of that. What I would do if I'm Daryl Cates, I would tell management and coaches, no more free agent signings on July 1. If you want to work out around the edges, fine. If you want to do an offer sheet for somebody who's going to be here for 10 years and is really good in 20, whatever, early 20s, then that's fine. But no more of this. None. Come on, man. Like this is, it's just the entire team building process that the Edmonton Oilers have engaged in, right from Daryl Cates choosing famous general managers instead of good ones. Just, it's absolute done. You can't go back. You've proven this doesn't work. If there's ever a need, ever a need to prove that old-timey veteran general managers who are coming into a situation that maybe the management and the setup isn't completely free of hands-on, then there's no hope for humanity because we don't learn. This Edmonton Oilers team needs a general manager who insists on the ability to work independently of anybody. Doesn't matter who calls. In fact, don't call. That's what they need. That's what they need. Starting now, I've hired someone who I'm never going to call. I'm never going to pick up the phone. I'm never going to answer a call from somebody underneath him in management. None of it. I don't even know who the coach is. I'm going to show up on picture day, and that's all I know. That's what the Edmonton Oilers need. They need what the Molson family used to do for the Montreal Canadiens when Sam Pollock was GM and Scotty Bowman was coach. Because, you can say all day, that Stan Bowman or that Chris Knobloch or that Stuart Skinner or that Tristan Jarry, but it doesn't mean anything. You're just mad at the latest guy. When was the last goaltender you liked? I think that's a problem. And sooner or later in life, you develop a past. I do. There's lots of things. If you ask anybody who's ever worked with me, they will tell you what's good about Lowetide and what isn't good about Lowetide. We all have that. You can go ask your coworkers. They won't tell you, but probably in their mind, they're thinking it. Well, the Edmonton Oilers have a past. And their past is they don't do well because they're not structured in a normal way, the way that winning teams are. And then at the end of the year, they blame the same position. Oh, it's the goalie. Oh, gee, that doesn't work very well. In the defense, they're good then bad. I don't know. The Edmonton Oilers don't really know what they have because they haven't allowed it to play in a normal way. You know, I told you not long ago about the games that Leon Draisaitl missed. Leon Draisaitl, one of the 5 best players in the National Hockey League? In the world, he's out. They go like 8-4-2. They play sound defense, and he comes back, and they can't play. Why? What happens to this team? What happens to this team? When the story goes from they're playing sound defense, all 4 lines are doing well, all 3 defensive pairings are okay, and the goaltender seems to know where the puck's going to be shot, and he makes the saves. I told you, the last 11 games, 37 goals for, 24 against in the regular season. Leon Draisaitl comes back, and it's like, well, I don't know. We may have to play Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. That's the big move. That'll help us. Why can this team not see what they do well and then do that? The Anaheim Ducks are no screaming hell. They aren't. They're just not. But they were good enough to beat the Edmonton Oilers. And it's a damn shame. And I do agree that they have made progress in some important spots. They're younger in some important areas. They're still too slow. And I don't know why. Honestly, I know you're going to be mad at me about this, but they had a 4th line that was absolutely rolling. And I understand Trent Frederick made a mistake, but that Doc-Frederick combination where they were hammering people, that could have worked. They went away from it right away as soon as the playoffs started. I go, well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if we can do that. And part of it was the injured centerman, I understand.
You and I were sort of talking about it, Lowetide, where I was out there and I did the quick math or whatever of how many minutes they've played, which is just over 360. I don't remember how far they got into overtime. So I said like 370. The Oilers were the better team for 30 minutes of the entire series. And you got to be willing to hit. It's just part of the game.
Win a puck battle.
Yeah. You don't have to be willing to fight, and that's fine. Like, that's not important. But you got to be willing to put your body on the line. Because what were the Ducks doing? I counted like 4 different hits in the neutral zone yesterday from the Ducks on the Oilers where I was like, man, that's a sick hit. You know who could be doing that for the Oilers? Trent Frederick.
Yeah, it's done now. It's fine. I'll get over it now. I won't be mad in 2 or 3 days. But like at 5-on-5, the Edmonton Oilers scored 17 and allowed 14. And that's about even. I mean, you can say, well, no, they should have won extra games. It's about even. But they had the advantage there, 17-14. It should have been larger. And it could have been if they'd played the structured game we saw at the end of the year. And so my working theory is when McDavid wasn't 100% and Leon was hurt, they had no choice. They had to work together, and they had the forwards and the defense, and they weren't gapping as much, and they made those short little passes, and they weren't doing the stretch passes, and nobody was playing hero. It was a repeatable game. Everybody knew their role, and they did it, and they didn't get ahead of their skis. And then as soon as they get back to the, we've got the 2 superstars, let's run the hell out of them, it doesn't work. So who is it that can't put into place a game plan with Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid on separate lines and make it work? And I understand the last few games of the year, the last 14 or so, didn't include world beaters, although there were some, really good teams in there. But the Anaheim Ducks are not last year's Florida Panthers. They're a young group, they're a fast group, they're a big group, and they were an energetic group. But a veteran team like Edmonton, they should have made life hard for them by game 2.5, and they never did. And I think part of it is they just simply changed strategy. And they sure as hell looked a lot different against Anaheim. Not a world beater than they did down the stretch when they were playing really well two-way. So you will have declinations on the way next. I am very much looking forward to it. Tell everybody what you're going to do.
Yeah, so Josh and I I think this is the first time we've brought it up so far today. We are going to be doing our top 5 moves for the Edmonton Oilers in the offseason. And this is a mix of, like, for me personally, some of them are just predictions, what I think is going to happen. Some of them are what I would do personally. So it's a little bit of a mix in that sense. It's not just 5 straight predictions. It's not just 5 straight if Declan becomes Daryl Cates' boss. It's a little bit of a combination of both.
So this is sort of like the Homer Simpson episode where Johnny Cash was a coyote?
More like where Michael Jackson was the fat white guy in the mental asylum.
Okay, I'm
I don't
starting
get
to
these.
feel it.
I'm more of a Family Guy guy. I don't know if I'm getting these references.
Okay.
You would Chris and Meg switching jobs with Peter and
There
Lois.
we go. What a reference.
There you go.
I like that.
Lowdown with Lowetide, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Nothing beats getting a deal at McDonald's. Why? Because you get a deal now.
And a deal later.
Redeem an offer from the latest mailer or on the McDonald's app and dig into instant savings. Plus, you earn points towards
Free McDonald's.
Now that's what I call
a double whammy of deals.
Why does that keep happening? Deals sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value. For a limited time at participating restaurants in Western Canada.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. Use code 1440 for 15% off at notalonecode.com. It's okay to not be okay.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Time for a new career in 2026? Or maybe your kid is still pondering their path. Good news! Weiss Johnson is hiring. Hi, it's Dennis, and not only are we hiring for heating and air conditioning, we're also looking for experienced plumbers and gas fitters. With the growth in residential development, there's no shortage of opportunities at Weiss Johnson. Choose your path with us. Learn from one of the industry leaders, and we will grow together. Receive great benefits and school reimbursement as well. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3. Saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
My, this sushi is just exquisite.
And I am obsessed with these crab legs.
You must have spent the whole day in the kitchen preparing this feast for us.
Or did I?
Entertain with unbelievable ease. The secret is Catch of the Week.
So you're telling me you were able to buy a ready-to-serve platter that is this fresh?
Catch of the Week, Edmonton's best seafood. Just off the Henday in Capilano, only 5 minutes from Sherwood Park. Details and directions online at catchoftheweekedmonton.com.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Catch them at wolfgmcbuick.com. It's truck month, so you want to catch them now. 1241. Dave texted in and said he agreed with me about free agency, not spending money on July 1, but asked me if I would be okay with trading Ike Howard for Sebastian Cossa. And my answer is yes. It is time for Declinations, brought to you by Fairway Divorce Solutions. Divorce can be difficult. We can help make the road to a new life easier. Fairwaydivorce.com.
Okay. How do you want us to do this, Lowetide? Do you want us to go back and forth, or should I give my 5, then have Josh give his 5? What do you want to do?
How do you guys want to do it?
How are you thinking about this one, Josh?
I think because they're individual lists and they're half predictions and half what we think or what we would do, I would say 5-1 each. Like you do your 5, I'll do my 5.
All right, sounds good.
It'll be easier for heckling.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, that's huge. That's a big part of it. I'll rattle my 5 off first here. And again, if you're just tuning in, this is the 5 off-season moves, or 5, moves in the near future for the Oilers to make. Not necessarily, you guys touched on it well. It's not all predictions or what we would do. It's kind of a mix of both. So number 5, fire Knobloch. I have this one firmly in the prediction category. I'm not saying I would do it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I've never claimed to be an X's and O's guy with hockey the way I am with football and basketball, so I don't love to talk outside of narratives. I don't love to talk too many intricacies regarding coaching.
You should also mention that you're completely unbiased here.
I'm pretty unbiased. Listen, this is the prediction. I think they're going to fire him. I think he's gone. I think they're going to fire Chris Knobloch. I know he is the extension that's about to kick in. I think he's gone.
Do you have a replacement?
I did until I do now. I'll tell you who it is. You know who my replacement was? And people might not like this one. And he's been scooped up by a team that fired their coach with like 4 games left in the season. And it's a guy Chris Knobloch beat twice in the Western Conference Finals, but it would have been Pete DeBoer.
Oh, DeBoer's a good coach.
Yeah, he's a good. Yeah, I know. Listen, Knobloch beat him twice. Listen, I'm not saying I agree with this. I'm not saying if I have the keys to the castle, I'm doing it. This is firmly in the prediction category. I think they're going to fire Chris Knobloch. Number 4. This is in the what Declan's doing if he's given the keys. I'm going to Darnell Nurse. I'm saying, what does it take? Like, how do we get you out of here, man? Like, I'm sorry. I'm not as hard. I'm not as down on Darnell Nurse as some people, but it gets to a point where this is an anchor that I think needs to be figured out.
You do know that he has the right to say no.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. That's why I'm saying, and it's summer of 27. So summer of next season that he can submit his 10-team no trade or 10-team trade list, excuse me. But I'm going to him. I'm saying, what does it take? And if he says, to your credit, Lowetide, if he comes back to me and he says, if he just pulls out a printout of the contract and he says, it says no move clause right there, I'm not doing anything. Fair play. All the credit in the world to him. That's on the contract. That's within his right.
Yeah,
but
I think he may go, though. I believe he might.
I'm going to him and I'm having the conversation. I'm saying, what does it take? Number 3, this is low-hanging fruit. I almost didn't want to throw it on here. By the way, there's an obvious one. I'm re-signing Kasperi Kapanen. He's the number 1 target for me. But
ahead of Connor Murphy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm asking.
Yeah, no. Just age a little bit too. Like I like Kasperi Kapanen. But number 3, low hanging fruit. You got to figure out the goaltending. Jason tweeted out the number. There's $8 million tied up between Tristan Jarry and Jack Campbell's buyout. It's like 7.975 or something. Connor Ingram, you're going to bring him back cheap as your 1. I like Connor Ingram a lot, but Connor Ingram's a 1A to a 1B. Like he's not a true 1 to a 2. Is that fair?
No, I don't think we know yet.
Yeah, fair. Maybe that's it too. You got to figure out the goaltending. Again, it's low-hanging fruit. It has been the topic of conversations for a decade plus. I know people are tired of hearing about it, but the reality is when you have Tristan Jarry and Jack Campbell getting paid a combined $8 million, and Tristan Jarry, and I don't think he played bad in the game he started, but he started 1 playoff game and you lost it. Like, again, I don't think he played bad, but it's just these are the things you need to figure out when these are the situations.
His reputation is that he's not a terrific playoff.
And that was I will never forget because I put the clip out and it got tens of thousands of views. When we had Josh Yohe on Gregor's show after he got traded, that was the number 1 thing he said about Tristan Jarry is that he wasn't a playoff performer and he always left you kind of wanting more.
100,000 views on Instagram.
Not a big deal. Number 2, that was hey, credit. Number 2, you're looking at Stan and Jeff. I'm not saying they're out the door, but I also think if you're the Oilers, you're in panic move territory. And similar to the Chris Knobloch thing, Not saying it's right or it's wrong, but when you're in panic move territory, you look at these things and you look at like the Jari trade where you have to give up Stuart Skinner, Brett Kulak in a second. That Trent Frederick contract, he played 4 games all playoffs and had 7 points in the season. Jake Wallman's contract. I actually like Jake Wallman, but we're going to get to a point where we're talking about that. And I know the cap's going up, but 7x7 until he's 37 years old isn't nothing. And I know bringing Connor Ingram in for nothing, like that's a nice feather in the cap. There are good moves that have been made. I'm not saying there haven't been, but I'm just saying you're looking at it because you're in panic mode, and these are the people you look at when you're in panic mode. At my number 1, I'm going to Connor McDavid, and I'm having a real conversation about what this looks like 2 years from now. And I'm trying to get all chips on the table, and that can be a difficult conversation to have. And Connor obviously carries a great deal of weight and a great deal of leverage, as he should. But there is a reality that he signed a 2-year deal at $12.5 million a year when he could have signed 8 for 160 or 150, whatever the number was based on the percentage of the cap. I am obviously in the same camp as most that he took the team-friendly deal to improve the roster. It doesn't really feel like the roster got all that improved. In fact, I just laid out some bad deals and some deals that didn't quite work out. So I'm going to him and I'm having a real chips on the table conversation about, and listen, it's going to be through agents. It's going to be, a lot of, wishy-washy kind of conversation. But I'm going to him and I'm saying, what does this look like in 2 years? I'm having a real sit down, chips in the middle conversation about what does this look like in 2 years?
May I, before Josh jumps in, I think that last one is very astute.
That's great. That didn't even I wasn't even thinking about that. That is good.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Knuckle pound Lowetide from across.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smart guy. Puck knower, maybe. Well, not
Well.
really. You said Oilers in 4, so what do you really know?
I said it with my chest too.
Number 5. This is what I would do, and also sort of in jest. Hire Daryl Cates, a new personal assistant. Just change the dates. Oh, Daryl. It's March already, man. Like, you missed the trade deadline. Like, and just like, oh yeah, we're supposed to have a meeting with. Oh yeah, no, that happened already. That's sorry to tell you.
So you're saying that he's
just
he's not with it and he can be fooled?
Just pull the rug out from under him.
I don't think he's a Simpsons character.
Someone to throw the wool over his eyes.
He seems a pretty brilliant business guy.
Yeah. But with being a business guy, things get busy. You need someone to manage the old calendar.
All right.
Maybe there's some funny business going on there. Anyways, 4, I think this is real, and also I think this is a prediction. And what I would do, I would re-sign Kasperi Kapanen maybe to a slightly longer term deal, like I don't know, 3-4 years. I don't know what the
I would love to give him the exact deal as Pods. I don't know how financially feasible that is, but
he
would get the exact same deal.
He probably warrants less money than Pods.
Even any no movement or no trade clause wording in there.
No move, no trade. You don't want that. And then also at the same time, re-sign Connor Murphy, but for 1 year.
Yeah, it's going to be tough because he's, he can go to Mars. It's a terrible year for free agency.
Yep.
And so he's kind of got the oldest. I think they're going to sign Murphy first and then Kapanen. I think they'll both get both done. But
problem is he's old. So if you can get him for 1 or 2 years and be like, hey man, like this is, we're going to try some stuff here.
But
resign him for 1 or 2 years. And he works really well with Nurse. So that's my number 4. Number 3, this is a prediction. Paul Coffey is moving up somewhere in the organization.
I agree with that.
I don't know if that means he is. I don't know if
take.
he's moving up to head coach. I don't know if he's moving up to GM or president of hockey operations or some new phantom role that they just like make out of something for him to be like what Keith Pelly is essentially for the Leafs, between the Oilers and Daryl Cates, and he can be the one that's like, hey Daryl, we're not doing that, or him be like, oh, this is a great idea, I'm going to the Oilers with this, blah blah blah. But Coffey, I think, is moving up.
I think Coffey may eventually be the general manager.
I think eventually he'll be the general manager, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was president of hockey ops this offseason.
Yeah, I could see. I've heard head coach for. I don't think he wants to coach at all.
I don't think he wants to coach either.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think he's moving up. So that's my prediction. That was my number 3. Number 2, this is a prediction and also what I would do. You got to trade one of these big contracts. Now, I did say re-sign Connor Murphy for a year because that's what you get until Darnell Nurse gets his 10-teamer. So if you can just have Darnell Nurse as a member of a lockdown pair for a year and him sort of bring his value up, you might not have to worry about some retention or anything like that when you get off of him next year. And you can sort of just wait that extra year, even though he scored on his own goal 7 times, whatever. But you got to find a way to get off Jari, or one that we have not brought up yet, Jake Wallman's contract.
I thought he talked about Jake Wallman.
Did you say Jake Wallman? Okay, my bad. $7 million.
We really have to listen to each other, boys.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, because the one time you guys listened, you said I made an astute point. So tune in a little more frequently.
I think, I heard you say the same thing that I'm like echoing here of these big contracts or whatever, but I just missed Wallman. That's my bad.
I just wanted to use the word astute.
Yeah. Hey, fair enough. But you got to find a way to get off one of these big contracts. And unfortunately, you're going to have to give something up. Hopefully it's not in the name of Matthew Savoy, but it might come up. If you're trading in Ike Howard and Quinn Hudson with a Tristan Jari to like get him off the books, got to do what you got to do. And my number one, this is a prediction and what I would do: fire Chris Knobloch and everyone else on the bench. I think this whole coaching staff has to go from scratch.
So you personally would do that?
I would.
I think he's gone. Obviously, it was my number 5. I just don't know if I personally would.
I don't like.
This is what bothers me, and it really does bother me. I'm not sure Chris Knobloch is calling the shots. And the reason is because I don't understand why an NHL coach would start as he meant to go at the beginning of training camp and then just before the start of the season change his mind. It doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't.
I hate to be like I'm on Murder, She Wrote or anything. I'm Jessica Fletcher riding around on a bike, which is hilarious in and of itself. But people do things for reasons.
Yeah, but also the Oilers, they have a system problem. And to me, that shouts head coach. Also, the penalty kill has been a big problem this year. That's not on him. That's on the coach that handles the PK. That guy has to be gone also.
Yeah. All right. I don't have 5, but I have a few. By the way, Lansky says he can't do video today. He just texted me. Is that okay to tell you that now?
Yeah. Hey, that's cool.
I would not fire Chris Knobloch because I don't think he's been given a fair shake. But if he were fired, I'd hire Bruce Cassidy.
That was, by the way, sorry, I didn't get a chance to circle back to it when you asked if I had a name. No, I'm serious.
Oh, sure.
Because I talked about Pete Bruce
best name available.
Oh, yeah, he's the best name available.
Right? Like,
I'm just teasing it. I like Dave's idea of Ike Howard for Sebastian Cossa. Dave in the last segment mentioned or texted into the show. And then I would hire Mark Pouliot to be the number 3 center on the team. I know that a lot of you think he's been playing in Switzerland for 12 years and he's probably not NHL able, but I'm the guy and I get to do what I want. I'd bring back Yanni Niinema just to be Yanni Niinema and choose the music in the dressing room. And then I would make my friend Yoni the president of all media in town.
So you are just doing a Daryl Cates impression.
I don't think anybody would do anything. That's why I can never be too hard on Daryl Cates because I think he's Joe Fan, right? So he's, you're getting mad at yourself if you're mad at Daryl Cates.
That's very fair. My number 5, I went back and forth on this because originally Murphy and Kapanen were on their own thing because the first thought for what my number 5 was nothing. As a prediction.
You just make no changes at all.
I was just like, as a prediction, I think nothing might happen.
The market would not accept that.
I'm aware.
If you're Daryl Cates, you might want to do nothing, but you have to, at the very least, you have to send out one of those letters. I can't believe these crumb dumplings did this.
A Chris Drury letter from earlier this year. That's what you're saying he sends out?
I turned my back once on these kids when we're driving on a holiday, and this is the mess they made. I think they have to do something. All right. By the way, gentlemen, I think you did a brilliant job. That was outstanding. Well done by both of you.
Thank you, Lowetide.
Well thought out. They were. I think they were worthwhile points to discuss. And if I could remember more than 3 or 4 of them, we probably would in the next, hour or so.
I'll send you the podcast.
So next hour, Steve Lansky is going to join us, and we're going to talk about the Edmonton Oilers. And he sent out a tweet about Connor McDavid. I'm going to get into with him because people are telling me to. So we'll talk about that. And Steve loves to back up his assertion, so he will do that. Also, in the next hour, I am going to take my fast-feathered friends to my right to task because they have been beating down on the Eagles and now the 76ers. Hey, wait a minute. The 76ers are tied with the Boston Celtics, who you jack-o'-lanterns picked to make the final.
I think this
now,
is semi-unfair to me because I said the Sixers had the best player in the series. And if he stayed around, they were looking good.
I'm still going to roast both of you. There's nothing you can do. I can't believe the 76ers are terrible. I can't believe they're This is the Lowdown with Lowetide, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick on Sports 1440 and YouTube. It's time for an update with Declan Krueger.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Custom Floors Inc. Floors done right for homes or for businesses. Visit the new showroom, 115-77 149th Street. Open 6 days a week, Saturday hours. That's tomorrow from 10 to 2. And you can, of course, also visit customfloorsinc.ca to bring your next flooring project to life. NHL scheduled tonight gets going with Tampa and Montreal at 5 o'clock. Montreal with a chance to close out that series on home ice. Buffalo and Boston at 5:30. Buffalo with a chance to close that series out on the road. And Vegas, Utah, the late game at 8 o'clock. Vegas also with a chance to close it out on the road. NBA action gets going at 5 o'clock. Detroit and Orlando. Orlando leading the series 3-2. Chance to win at home. Cleveland and Toronto at 5:30. Toronto looking to avoid elimination on home court. And the Los Angeles Lakers in Houston to take on the Rockets at 7:30. The Lakers leading that series 3-2. One game in the MLB right now. Diamondbacks trail the Cubs 3-0 in the top of the third. Blue Jays will be in action at 6:10 against the Minnesota Twins. It'll be Corbin on the mound in that one. And you can, of course, hear that one on Sports 1440 on the AM dial only. Dodgers also will be in action against the Cardinals at 6:15. And the next game on the dock will be the Rangers and Tigers at 4. News from around the sporting world as John Cooper, Dan Muse, and Lindy Ruff have been nominated for the Jack Adams Head Coach of the Year award in the NHL. And in that Cavs-Raptors game, Raptors All-Star Brandon Ingram has been downgraded to doubtful. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Alan Olson Auctions presents the Unreserved Farm Auction for George and Colleen Heslop of Millet, Alberta. Online bidding is open right now through Monday, May 4th at alanolsonauction.com. Bid on a variety of farm equipment, including a Fendt tractor, New Holland combine, 1998 GMC grain truck, augers, grain bins, a baler, cultivators, and much, much more. For more info, call Alan Olson Auctions at 403-843-2747 or visit alanolsonauction.com today.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting nonstop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO right here in Edmonton. I can help you become debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick.
we're making it easy.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Author, musical connoisseur, sports know-it-all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's a little after 1 o'clock. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. It is Truck Month featuring their best deals of the year. Ask about 0% financing plus extra discounts for Costco members. WolfGMCBuick.com. All right. We have to wait a little pause. We have to just spend a couple of seconds here contemplating Steve Lansky in all his glory. We don't get a video of him today. So he's probably wearing something like a hoodie that says, scratch me, or something like that. It's probably blue-green, but he put it in the wash, and now it's more yellow, and it looks a little bit like he's a hippie. He is the headliner of the day. Playoff season is here for almost everybody, and the last thing you need is debt stealing the thrill. A free consultation with a local Faber licensed insolvency trustee could be the turning point. Visit faber.ca. Mr. Lansky, how are you?
Good, dude. If I gave you 50 guesses, you wouldn't get why I'm not on video. It's because I'm on the way to The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Oh, my God.
I know that would have been your first guess.
Oh, my God. I can't wait to see that movie. I hate that you're going to see it before me.
Well, unless you're out there in the next 30 minutes, which you could. Just so you know,
I could.
There's no rules in life, dude. You can do it.
Yes, I can. It's just next door. I could go. I can't wait to see this. I think Meryl Streep will be really, really good in this.
It would be her first fine performance, I think, in her lifetime, but I'm counting on it as well.
Oh, I'm jealous of you. I can't. I watched the other one the other day with Karen because I was so excited about the new one coming out.
There you go. So did we, man.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. All right. Now that we can talk about things that make us happy, let's talk about the Edmonton Oilers. They lost in I have to say, disappointing fashion in 6 to the Anaheim Ducks. I really have to say that at the end of the year, I know they weren't playing grand teams, but their last 11 games, they scored 37, allowed 24. Leon Draisaitl wasn't in any of those. You bring him back, you assume you're going to be way better. They were not against the Anaheim Ducks.
Playoffs, completely different animal. I don't know how many times we have to discuss it, and it seems like they don't get it. But it's a different animal. There's a million ways to lose a series. You know, Steve Smith scores in his own net. They still had 14 minutes to score in 1986. Calgary worked their ass off to beat them. No problem losing that. No problem losing a series in which they're overmatched. Big problem losing a series in which they just don't appear to give enough of a insert profane word here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. They like a friend of mine said, I think Anaheim could go all the way. I'm like, they're not going all the way. They're not that good, but they're big, young, and strong, and they caught the Oilers when they weren't right. And I mean, the penalty kill for the Oilers was just atrocious.
There's no excuse for not arriving at the playoffs ready, not necessarily physically, but mentally. And dude, I'm trying to think of a more mismanaged group than I've ever seen in my entire life in the National Hockey League, and the only one I can come up with is the Toronto Maple Leafs in the 80s up until they went to the conference finals in the 90s. That is the only one I can even sniff closer.
Yeah, this is the word is that Daryl Cates is going to look under the hood at everybody. I still think that there's some kind of disconnect. I go back to opening night when They had been running lines and pairings with McDavid and Draisaitl on different lines, and then all of a sudden they were playing together. And I don't know a coach alive who would game plan all preseason one way and then on the eve of the season change it. It doesn't make sense to me, and that tells me that there are other powers in play that make these decisions, and that's wrong.
Listen, if we're going to go right to it, I don't think Stan Bowman's the guy. Stan Bowman didn't build the Chicago Blackhawks. Dale Talon did, and then he got piped, and Stan got all the credit. Stan Bowman got suspended from the National League for doing things he shouldn't have done, for God's sakes. He shouldn't be your general manager, but if you want to start there, fine, but there's a million things wrong. I also think deifying 29, 97, and 25 is a real big problem, and it's right at the core. And these guys aren't gods. They're just players, man. And good heavens, could we see some frickin' effort? If Edmonton gave the effort that Montreal, Tampa, Philly, or Pittsburgh gave, to won this series in 3 games, for God's sake.
Do you draw a parallel? You always are extremely critical of the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are gods in that town. Do you feel it's similar for the 3 players you mentioned?
I'm not going to lie to you. Yes, I do. It's, the only difference is one's a city of 1.4 million and the other is a city, the golden horseshoe of 10 million. But other than that, yes, there's a real strong parallel. It's like they walk on water. Dude, I'm telling you, I've been in this freaking business since 1979. Nobody walks on water. It does not happen. And you tell me what they've won. You give me a list of what those 3 have won, and I'm telling you, they're not walking on anything but the same ground we are.
Steve Lansky, our guest from Inside the Truck podcast on Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Not the first time Steve has mentioned the word horseshoe to me. However, it's far less violent than the last time he did. So you're driving now. Is Mrs. Lansky driving with you?
No, we've parked now. She was driving. I'm bold, but I'm not that bold. I'm not driving. We've parked now, and you will be fascinated to know that for the entire trip, her finger was over her ear because her passenger is so bloody loud.
Yes.
She can't concentrate on the driving.
Yeah, I know. I had to turn my radio down. You're a very loud man, I have to tell you.
You know what? You're the first. This is the first I'm hearing it, but I will take that into consideration moving forward.
I did want to, we can talk about the Oilers all day, and we will all winter, or all summer, so it's fine. But I did want to ask you, because we caught you on a day, and we were so thrilled that you came on, and we appreciate it. But you had, we were kind enough to join us the day we found out about John Garrett's passing. I was so impressed with so many people from the hockey world who reached out with wonderful stories, just so good, that knew him well or didn't know him well, but had been touched by his goodness. Now that you've had a few days to contemplate it, is it easier, harder, or are you starting to laugh again about a very funny and good man?
Well, I always laugh. Because I think if Cheech found out we weren't laughing, he'd be pissed off. I really do. But just a lot of memories have come flooding. I still can't process it. I still don't have my head around it. I just, I loved working with him so much. I can't think of a single moment when I didn't love working with him. And a game would finish, I remember this vividly, and he'd do games with Ed Whalen in Calgary. And as you and I both know, Ed Whalen was one of a kind.
Yes.
He would try to mix in Stampede Wrestling stuff with hockey, but really we wanted him to stick with hockey. And it was before we had talkback, so the commentators couldn't talk to you during the game. But we'd go to a commercial after Eddie had said something, like we'd go to break, and I'd say, okay, Eddie, I'm going to count you to break. 7, 6, 5. And he doesn't talk through the whole count. 4, 3, 2, 1. And we go to break, and I said, Eddie, what happened? You didn't take us to break. And he goes, I don't know, kid. I just panicked. And then there's this silence. And then all Cheech does is he comes on and he goes, how'd you like that, Lansky? Meanwhile, we're like back in 30, and I am just wetting myself. I'm laughing so hard.
Oh,
But
my God.
He knows exactly what happened to it.
Oh, man. All right. Well, enjoy. Don't tell me. I don't want to know about the new colors that they're talking about. I don't want to know what, happens at all. I don't want to know about anything. I just want to watch that wonderful movie, sight unseen. But I hope you enjoy the heck out of that movie. It's going to be a great one. I know.
No spoilers from me. We're going to love it. The boss wants to go on the first date, so we're going on the first day, baby.
You are a brilliant man. Thank you, Steve Lansky.
Thanks, Al. Have a great weekend.
You too. There you go. Steve Lansky from Inside the Truck Podcast. He lays it on the line. I mean, the one thing about Steve Lansky is he's going to go where no man has gone before if he believes that to be the case, or the correct thing to say. And he has been highly critical of the Toronto Maple Leafs for years, and he leveled some criticism at the Edmonton Oilers today, and I think a lot of people share with him that feeling after a very disappointing playoff loss. Should take a shot every time Lansky says frickin'. By a shot, you mean just like a punch on the arm, right? Yeah.
Where, if I may ask,
yes,
where do you come out on kind of him being hard on McDavid and Draisaitl not having won anything? Because I've been pretty hard on them for that as well, but there's something to be said, man, for how good they are and the individual hardware they have. I'm kind of speaking out of both sides of my mouth, which sometimes I do, to be fair, because I've also come down on them for not winning. But he almost went about it in a where do you come out? Where do you come out?
Well, okay, I'm going to tell you, and then you're going to say you made it up, but I didn't. Years and years ago on my blog, which neither of you read, I wrote an article about pennants, PENNANTS.
Baseball pennants.
Yeah, the pennants that you do. And I felt like if you make the Stanley Cup final, that means you've reached a certain level. Your team should be honored. And the reason I said it was in 2006, the Edmonton Oilers made it to the Stanley Cup final, and they lost in 7 games. And there was no way for me to honor that team because they didn't win the Stanley Cup. And I felt that was wrong. And I also felt it was wrong to not honor the 1972 New York Rangers, who beat the Montreal Canadiens but couldn't get by the Bruins. They were a great team. So were the 71 Chicago Blackhawks. So I introduced the idea of pennants. And because I have great influence all over the hockey world and really the universe, and because when I say something, everybody listens, nobody did anything. Pennants is still in my brain and nowhere else. But that's how I feel. Nobody else feels this way. It got no torque, no wheels, no legs. Nobody did anything. It just laid there like a turtle that was upside down. But I still believe pennants is a good idea. There you go. Did I answer your question?
No, for sure.
No.
Yep.
And you don't buy a word of it.
No, it's not that. It's not that, because I love what you said. But I also think there's kind of I think that 06 team and what they achieved in that playoff run, my goodness, does it ever deserve to be put on a pedestal and say, hey, that was something special? But I think that 06 team is a far different team from what we expect, at least with Leon and Connor.
Different expectations. Going into
But
the year.
and I want to express this because I this is my last chance, Texaco, of an old man to try to make a point. I don't interact a lot with hockey players. I could if I wanted to. I just don't. It's not an area of interest for me. There's a lot of professionals who've done it for many years. I'm older than they are, and they have, worked out that area of the planet Earth. And I think I would just be getting in their way. And it's not a strong interest of mine. But there are times when I meet players, and I express to them how I feel about them in a quiet moment. I met Ryan Smith years ago on a golf course. He had just retired. I shook his hand and I said, congratulations on your career. And I said, the 2006 team might be my favorite team of all time. And he thanked me and he said that was very kind. And I think that team is a perfect example of a club that deserves to have an elevated status, and they didn't win a Stanley Cup. And Fernando Pisani didn't score the Stanley Cup winning goal. but it was a thrill ride, and it was memorable, and I love it, and I will love that team forever. So pennants are a way we can honor them, and it doesn't take anything away from the Stanley Cup.
What, they get Western Conference, Eastern Conference championship banners?
Yeah, but who cares? It's even hard to say.
Then, why do we care about pennants?
2006 Western
That's essentially what they are.
Champion
Yes,
North, Central, West, East.
And I know they have them because I was looking at them on Tuesday.
You get a pennant. It's a different word. It means something more. They won the pennant in 2006.
See, it doesn't.
Not the Western. It takes too long. Nobody cares. It's about the what?
You can change the word all you want.
Yeah, like I agree with your verbiage, Lowetide, and I think it does kind of mean more and sound cooler. But I also kind of agree with Josh that like it is
all right,
the same thing.
You're off the show. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Thanks for tuning in.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
Struggling to find skilled workers? What if you could fill your talent pipeline with motivated, pre-vetted youth and receive funding to support your efforts? At Careers the Next Generation, we connect Alberta employers with interns in skilled trades, IT, agriculture, forestry, and more. All WCB covered, high school accredited, safety trained, and ready to contribute from day one. With 83% of RAP students continuing their apprenticeships after high school, investing in youth today means securing your workforce for tomorrow. Don't wait. Visit careersnextgen.ca to get started.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. MortgagesToGo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly. Guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's one.
You start to wonder about the accumulation. Little give and go. Drives the backhands it off the side of that rebound. And that's exactly what Edmonton needed. Sperry Campbell with his team leading fifth of the playoffs, and the Oilers are back in the game.
Quick strike. 3 turnovers on that sequence by the Edmonton Oilers in the defensive zone. They could not get it out. They gave it back to the Anaheim Ducks. But when they
Well played by Menchikov. Puck shaken free. Brown wanted a call against Edmonton. It's not going to come. Tough. It was thundering down the right hand side. The shot fly. Dostal shoveled home. And the Oilers get a gift. Dostal couldn't handle a soft shot toward the net. And it was Connor Murphy who went down low and shoveled it home to bring Edmonton within 2-1.
Game to start things.
Minnesota trying to close out and eliminate Denver. Oh my goodness, TJ Sam punches the rim.
This young man has played downhill, using his speed, blows right by Tim Hardaway Jr. You see the athleticism. And boy, Dave, yes, this is spectacular.
West and Diablo Boots, the 2 best names in the boots business.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
On Sports 1440 and YouTube, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. It's Truck Month. Check them out. WolfGMCBuick.com. There was a period of time in music, that was like 1982, where, you know, it was kind of formula. They had the air drums and they were, you know, every song kind of sounded the same. And so I didn't want to like that song, but I really liked the lead singer's voice. And I always liked that song. So it's Asia, right? Heat of the Moment, 1982.
What that song? That song and Don't You Want Me? Very similar vibes by Human League.
Right.
To me personally.
Right. Yeah, there were just like a bunch of bands that sounded the same, and I tried awfully hard not to like them. Like REO Speedwagon was like kind of like Foreigner, and there was like 10 of them that were the same. And you'd go, damn it, there's nothing about this that's original or like Toto. God, I love that stupid Africa song, but I didn't want to. It was just so catchy. Anyway, John Wetton was the guy who sang lead vocals on that and did a great job. All right, I'm not going to take you to task, because I will tell you, I've watched the 76ers maybe 10 times this year. And I've watched all the games because if Joel's not playing, I don't watch. I watch it and then I go, God, I can't watch this. And they're usually behind by 20. But I rely on you two goofs to tell me what's going on in the NBA. And I watch it when I get a chance to, but I'm a busy man. I got to walk from the beer fridge to the sofa, you know. And so I rely on you. And you keep telling me the 76ers are garbage. And now they're tied with the Boston Celtics, who you also claim are going to make it to the final. And I'm just asking you. I'm just a man out in the middle of nowhere with a microphone asking, what the hell?
Yeah, so, you know, what I've learned from this series is I sort of just have to stop agreeing with Declan on sports series predictions.
I got the Spurs. I got the
Best
Spurs
answer ever.
I got the Spurs right in 5. I got the Hawks right in 6. I got the Thunder
You
right
mean
in
Knicks.
4. Knicks right in 6. I got the Thunder right in 4. And the Raptors series is yet to be written. I'm batting higher than you in basketball right now.
Yeah, probably. But alas,
This guy.
here we are. You know,
You did
oil
say
and
Embiid
four.
was the best
So
player. in
it's-
the series.
But I got to be a little more convicted in my
Sure.
this is just a me thing. I
Well,
got to be
he's
more
very-
convicted in what it is I say.
He's very influential sounding, you know. He's convincing, you know.
And let's be real. This series, there was no way we were going
Oh,
any
look,
direction other
thinking about it, you're like, oh well, clearly this is the Celtics, and then you go, well, wait, hold on, Embiid's healthy, better. You're like
a
former
crazy,
league MVP.
a crazy wrinkle we haven't even talked about is that Paul George is playing like
He's playing good.
well. Yeah,
He
Paul
needed
George is
those
playing
25
well.
games off for taking steroids.
Yeah, he did. He needed the steroids too because my goodness,
Yeah,
was
he did.
he ever buns.
But he is back.
Tyrese Maxey is like Tyrese Maxey's thing has always been like he's gonna get you a bucket, but is he gonna get you a bucket that matters? And he's getting you buckets that matter. Now, Jaylen Brown, if he can't push off, he's in trouble offensively. Jason Tatum listen, I think he's probably the best player in the series right now, even though at the peak of their powers, Joel Embiid would be a better player. Despite his stat, like last game was not a game. He played very well, and you're playing on a tough road environment in Philly. But this is, and Josh, actually, maybe do you want to go first with this take? That we talk a lot about the Oilers losing, and boy, that's disappointing. If the Celtics were to lose this first round series, multiply that by 10 or 15.
Oh God. Like I want to say I agree with you 100%. But let's remember where we were at the beginning of the season with the Celtics. You said that they might not make the playoffs. They would be a playing team. Laughable. But that's neither here nor there. And they
No, I said playoff.
Yeah, but I think you said they would be. Never mind.
I was
arguing
hard on
about-
them.
You were very hard on them, and I was like, they are good enough that they will maybe not be a top 4 seed, but they will be a bona fide playoff team. And I was wrong. That's fine. They were a 2 seed. Joe Mazzulla is a great coach, and I don't think I was giving him the credit that he deserved. But going into the season, that was the prevailing theory that like no Tatum, they sold off a bunch of pieces. This was going to be like a, like they're just going to go out and have fun kind of year. And so I think it can't be multiplied like the Oilers. I mean, it will be because it's the NBA and it's bigger in the States than it is than hockey is in the States. It's just the way it is. It's the semantics of it all. But like in my mind personally, they did not have an expectation to go and win NBA championship this year. They weren't expected to bring home Larry O'Brien. Still losing to the Sixers is absolutely psychotic, but I don't think I can go like that much bigger of a deal or anything like that due to the preseason expectations. If you just put this in a vacuum, I'd be like, yeah, that's unbelievable.
Would this be the career highlight for Joel Embiid?
I would say it was probably the MVP award.
Winning league MVP. Like he's still got to.
Oh, please tell me we're getting a mug.
Oh my God, you brought mugs?
New swag for us all.
Look at this.
Holy.
Can you see that?
Yeah, bring it
This
over.
is good looking.
Doctor.
Do you want to show it off? On the camera?
This is something.
This is really nice.
I'm a really big. Yeah, get in there.
This is from Depco.
I'm a really, really big mug guy.
Hand
This
wash
means a lot
with
to me.
warm soapy water before using. Laver à la main. Oh, that's French. Do not put in dishwasher. May shrink in extreme heat. Okay. Well, thank you to Debco.
Or who got these? Stingray. Thank you, Stingray, for these.
Well, this is like, do they see it on the camera?
Oh, they see it on the camera. Don't
How
you
good
worry.
is this?
This is unreal. The only thing that would make it better is if it like had our faces on the other side.
It would not be better.
Sorry, I'm trying so hard because I have a take. I want to get your guys' thoughts on.
But you don't think
this
this would be cooler if it said Sports 1440 on one side and it had your face on the other so people knew it was your mug?
I think that's cool, but it's a little vain. Like my face doesn't really need to be.
But
on
it
the
wasn't
mug.
you that would have ordered it. It would have been Stingray that ordered it.
What would be better if we actually got like I got Kevin's face and you got Brandon's face.
See,
and
now
got
I'm
Jason's
confused.
face.
You got a free mug. Shut up.
Yeah, no, hey, thank you.
I love mugs.
Thank you.
Like I'm
just
a
saying.
mug guy.
Oh, you know what they should have done?
No, this is great.
This is
I'm
why
just-
you kids
It's
today.
just a funny thing I wanted to bring up, Al.
Get off my
A
lawn.
funny idea.
This is the one. Sorry.
Shout out to Marty.
This is the one thing I want to say about the 76ers because I know they're your team, Al. They're kind of like the reverse. Like they're kind of like the LA Kings in the sense that not in the sense that they're a defensive team, very much the opposite, but they can only really play one way
Right.
and it doesn't work out for them. But you know what? It looks like maybe it's about to work out for
But
them.
Nick
in
Nurse
7
is a good
games.
coach.
And Nick Nurse is a good
But
coach.
they're not going to go deep, right? Like they'll lose game 7.
Here's the thing: if they beat Boston, world's kind of your oyster
Listen,
with how the East looks
yeah.
right now.
I will not do the thing where I say, I'm not going to do the thing where I say, they have no sniff in game 7, because I think this is something we all forget, just like in sports. Game 7, literally anything can happen. Like that is the beauty of game 7. That's why everyone loves game 7, is because, the better team should win, but it's who's the better team that night. And for all you know, Joel Embiid is going to, put up a 60-point triple-double and, rub his nuts all over the Celtics bench. And Jason Tatum won't be able to make a single three-pointer. Like that's what could happen. Or like VJ Edgecombe could go unreal for 45. Or we see what happened in Atlanta last night, and the Celtics just impose their will, and Jason Tatum has almost as many points as the Sixers as a team. You don't really know when it comes to game 7.
Honestly, though, Lowetide, like this is, as a fan, this is probably like best you could have hoped for. Like, boy,
you're
no,
no,
in a good
I'm
spot.
pretty excited about it. Until Josh mentioned that thing about the bench, I was really into it.
Like just like it's game 7. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
In theory, the Celtics should win game 7, but they were also supposed to win game 5.
It's basketball is such a great sport, right? Because all we talk about, or all I like when I'm reading the preseason stuff, it's like, they got a lot of talent, but they don't match up against this team and this team. And this is why, this team will probably run over them. And you're like, oh, okay. But when it comes right down to it, it's still, it's a game. And even though mistakes don't happen often compared to like the college game, they still do occur. And things like relying heavily on the three-pointer make you a little bit vulnerable sometimes. So it's fun to have these events occur. I'm still holding out hope that the Minnesota Timberwolves win someday. Is that a false hope?
No, I don't think so.
They did expose that fraud Jokic, though.
They've got Jaden McDaniels. Anything is possible.
Now,
talk about a quote that aged like wine.
How mad are you at Jokic? Like, are you like, is this like he'll never be my favorite ever again?
Well, he was like never my favorite personally. I was obviously very high on him, and he still is one of the 20 best players ever. But we got to call it like it is. History's not going to be kind to him.
Spade is a spade.
Yeah. What did I say?
No, same thing.
Yeah. History's not going to be kind to him. You know what? Like, and people are going to look back at those MVPs as a 6 seed and as a 3 seed and the no def. Like, this series was. People are saying it's worse than LeBron in 2011. I'm not sure if I go that
be
far.
That bad. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure if I agree with Josh. I tend to agree with Josh because that was the finals. And LeBron, like, he really, really shrunk. Like, even he shrunk more than history kind of remembers in that series. But this series for Jokic, outside of that, the worst it has ever been for a superstar by country miles. It was really bad.
I have another question about the NBA.
Unless LeBron chokes his 3-0 lead. Yeah.
So I'm not watching, but I'm paying attention last night to the Knicks score. 40-15 after 1.
Yep.
83-36 after 2. And then they kind of called off the Dogs. Like, that game was so over, man.
They went on like a 50-8 run. I'll let Josh harp on it. But I had a question for Steve. I meant to text him. I forgot. Maybe I will. I wanted to ask him, like, how do you as a broadcaster, like, how do you keep up the energy or pace of a broadcast when that's the game?
Mike Breen had a crazy quote. This is his quote. Exactly. Shout out to Dan Devine, NBA insider. Mike Breen just referred to the score by saying, if you're just tuning in, that is not a graphic glitch. So that would have been like in the second half. Yes. All right. So Nickeil Alexander-Walker hits a 3 at 9:15 to go in the first period to put the Hawks up by 4 on the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks then proceeded to go on a 71-16 run. That's how bad this was.
71-16.
And of all the teams that I would have expected this to happen to, the Hawks would not have been my pick. Because they are defensively sound. Snyder is good. Dyson Daniels good.
I actually might have picked it to happen to the Knicks before the Hawks.
Yeah.
Crazy.
What happened last night in Atlanta, like, they cannot stop catching bad sports beats.
Man, that's actually, you're right. Although the Braves are a little better this year, right?
I guess so.
But man, it's every 30 years they get an NHL expansion team and then don't go.
And then it moves.
Yeah. But I mean,
shout out to the North Battleford something or others that'll move from Atlanta in a few years.
North Stars.
You think North Stars? The North Battleford North Stars?
That's what they're called.
Listen, I think North Battleford needs an NHL team.
Look, you guys can rip on North Battleford all you want. It's a lovely town. You're just being mean.
No one loves North Battleford more than me.
That's not true. My friend Lieutenant Eric, his wife's from there. I guarantee, love it more. I love it more. I used to listen to Harry Michael Decker call the North Battleford North Stars hockey games.
That's nice.
And there's lots of there's beautiful lakes. I'll tell you what, and I love Edmonton, but there are 50 lakes within driving distance of North Battleford that Edmontonians would kill to have near them. True story. People putting down Saskatchewan, man, that is not my bag.
Hey, we're not putting down Saskatchewan. Declan's merely putting down North Battleford.
There's also 50 carjackings within a kilometer radius of your house you're going to have to look out for.
In North Battleford?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I love North Battleford. My grandparents were there. I still want to buy their old house because it was my favorite house ever. But come on.
I don't think the town should let you buy it.
They probably
You've got to show a little more concern and respect for North Battleford, sir, before you can live there. Jokes about North Battleford always fall flat, Matt and LeDuc. Just saying. Why do you pick on North Battleford? There are I could tell you other towns that are worse in Saskatchewan.
What, Prince Albert?
No.
Another pretty bad one.
What the hell is the matter with you guys?
I don't want to
Don't say you guys in this scenario. He's the one doing all the talking. I'm not from Saskatchewan. I don't have any family in
Now
Saskatchewan.
you're not mispronouncing Saskatchewan like it's some kind of Hickville.
Oh, you guys are from Saskatchewan, eh? It's from grown-ups.
Anyway, what were we saying, Declan?
No, because it's, you know what? It's just more harping on North Battleford, and I don't want to do that.
A long time ago, they had a main street that was a dead end. That's the worst thing you can say about it. They had the big husky on the highway with the gigantic Canada flag. They're good folks. They read their Star Phoenix and they read their local North Battleford paper. One chew on at a time. Good folks. Now, outlook. Okay, we'll take a break. On the way, we're going to talk about the Edmonton Oilers and what's next, and we'll do it calmly, unlike earlier. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. It feels good to know your fund goes further at home. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Your protein drink should work as hard as you do. That's why Booster Juice is hitting the gym harder than ever, brother. Meet your new gym buddies, the Way Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers. 2 new ripped and refreshing menu options that bench some serious protein. Perfect for pre or post workout. Way Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers taste like motivation. So what are you waiting for? Let's go!
Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
Shoulder pain. It can make even the simplest things like reaching up, lifting a bag, brushing your teeth, or sleeping frustrating. Rotator cuff strains, impingement, arthritis, they're some of the most common issues we treat every day. I'm Grant Fedoruk, and at Leading Edge Physio, our team brings postgraduate training, evidence-based technology, and just the right amount of humor and humility to help you feel better. Because we never forget the most important part, the gratitude we feel for every patient who allows us the opportunity to care for them. Because life shouldn't hurt. When it does, leadingedgephysio.com.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Mr. Rooter gets attacked by a Canada goose.
Oh, look at that. Another on-time arrival. Nothing stops Mr. Rooter from plumbing on schedule. You gotta be kidding me. Hello, Mr. Goose. I'm Mr. Rooter. Okay, this is what you train for. Through rain, sleet, or goose, the pipes get fixed.
A Honda for a plumber who does whatever it takes. Mr. Rooter.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Krueger for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Measles outbreaks are occurring in Canada, including Alberta. These outbreaks are highly preventable. Measles is an extremely contagious disease that is spread easily through the air. The best way to protect yourself, your family, and your community is to ensure you are up to date with your immunizations. Don't get measles. Get immunized. Visit alberta.ca/measles to find out if you're up to date and what to do if you're not. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Canadian Tire's Big Spring Tire Sale is back. Save up to 25% on quality tire brands including Continental, Michelin, Motomaster, and Pirelli until May 21st. Conditions apply. Details online.
The Ford It's a Big Deal event is on now. Get a big deal on a 2026 F-150 STX with Black Appearance Package. Visit your Alberta Ford store today.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out at wolfgmcbuick.com. Into our final segment of the week. I have an assignment for both of you. Declan is leaving the room quickly.
Well, I'll do the assignment first, and then we can fill him in after.
Well,
or I'll fill him in after. Like a group project.
Okay. We have all weekend to do the assignment.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And I will do it too.
Okay.
The assignment is the following. What in HE double hockey sticks are we going to talk about on Monday?
Oh, man, that is a good one. I think we're going to have to watch a lot of baseball this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to keep up to date with that. By the way, a quick aside, but sort of on topic. The Phillies were at the Flyers game, right?
Yeah.
They got booed by all the Flyers fans. The Phillies proceed to win their doubleheader.
Yes.
And Kyle Schwarber does something that has never been done in MLB history since Lou Gehrig. So, long time ago.
Both of the games ended on walk-off hits, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
He had 0 strikeouts, 2 home runs, 5 hits, all this stuff. Like, it was very impressive. But guess who was at the Ducks game last night? The Angels, baby.
Oh,
so I'm hoping maybe they catch a little bit of this this energy that was given, even though, it's Philly. It's sort of an absolute enigma when it comes to sports. But
yeah,
maybe there's something there.
I saw a thing about Nick Kurtz, who has tied Ted Williams for the most games with a walk in a row at 19.
Yes.
And the record's like 23 or 24. I don't remember the gentleman who did it. It was during the war. And when I say during the war, that means that the quality of the game was maybe not as high.
Well, I mean, a guy drew a walk in 24 straight games.
Yeah.
To be fair. Yeah. What are we doing on Monday? So let's see. The rest of the NHL playoffs is still obviously happening. So there will be a lot of that to talk about. The Elks get started in something like 50 days. So there's that. NBA playoffs obviously going on. Like, there's still a lot happening. But what's city-centric? Like, the Stingers start next Saturday. That's about the closest we get to more local sports action, honestly. And if anyone on the text line knows what's happening that I'm not privy to, please let us know.
There you go. And baseball's not that far away here locally, which is a great time.
First week of June, I think, every year. I don't know. I'll go check their website right now. As a matter of fact, they are friends of the station, so I should probably know this, but
good people over there.
They are fantastic people over there.
They've got some interesting things coming this summer too. I can't say. I'm not allowed to say, but people are going to be pretty excited. The lakes in Saskatchewan are amazing. We went a house party on the Nippon River, and one of the best holidays ever from Smalls. Damn right.
Actually, Riverhawks season, their home opener, they play against Wenatchee on the 29th
of May. Nice.
29th, 30th, and 31st. So, 105 afternoon game. I think that's the kid day that they let.
Why don't we broadcast live from there?
I've got some ideas coming into the
There you
summer. We
go.
gotta keep some things fresh around here, you know?
Damn straight.
We come into the studio. Last summer I was so pasty, or last winter, I guess, going into it, I was so pasty. I hadn't been outside.
You don't have to put a qualifier on it. You're always pasty.
Well, no, I'm not. You've only seen me when I'm pasty. I'm getting a little brown on my my left arm here, Al. That's from, I think, a total accumulation of 4 hours sitting outside with nothing.
But not your whole body, just your left arm. Is this like my left foot?
No, like my legs got some tanning yesterday. The last couple of days, I've been sitting on a balcony reading a book for the afternoon, just hanging out.
Waskesiu Lake is amazing, low tide. I know Montana to Rice.
I've been there.
Loon Lake, Turtle Lake, Midnight Lake. They're just gorgeous lakes. I'll tell you what, if I owned the world, if I were king of the world, I would get big cranes and I would move Turtle Lake next to my house. It is so beautiful. Love that place. Actually, I wouldn't even move it. I'd put in an airstrip and fly there on Friday afternoons.
Oh, by the way, Declan, the homework assignment that he was asking us for.
I was going to ask about that.
What are we talking about on Monday?
I mean, Tampa might be out too. That's kind of ammo.
That's going to be big. Maybe Boston's out. Sorry, Al.
No, I don't have faith in them this year. I really don't. Montreal, Les Canadiens.
The first round will be over.
How did you phrase how you wanted our assignment done?
What in the HE double hockey sticks are we talking about on Monday?
Okay, so kind of the exact same way Josh said it. All right. Yeah, listen, we're going to have a lot, okay? There's a lot to do with the Oilers offseason. The NHL playoffs are still rolling. You got two pretty big NBA guys here in the heat of the NBA playoffs. I think we'll be okay.
And baseball we have.
Yes, you have baseball. I mean,
I would like, this is our assignment, all three of us.
Yeah.
On Monday, for one segment, we're each going to come up with an Oilers trade idea.
Okay.
And we're going to flesh it out and give our idea and why it would work. Okay? Can we do that?
I guess so.
We absolutely. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Are we allowed to presume a player will be waiving their no trade?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have to provide context on how we get them to waive that no trade?
No.
Okay.
Unless you want to, unless it's part of the story, but don't make it violent. And then you also have to do one more favor for me. Make sure I remember that we just had this conversation.
Okay.
I'm an old man.
Chat, clip that.
UFC this weekend too, Declan.
Yeah, hey, Carlos Prates and Jack Della Maddalena out of Australia. Heck of a main event. If you think you like the UFC, but you actually just like standing and banging and swinging and biting down on the mouthpiece, with like these guys actually do have technical ability, but Jack Della Maddalena and Carlos Prates is the event for you. Really, really, really excited for this main event this weekend.
Dr. Dick Richards says LT did a great job suppressing the text today. Really kept things respectful. I read your text and I didn't read it on the air because I don't think there's any real need to include someone who isn't, the head person of the particular organization. So, I sort of have a, no matter how old they are, I sort of have a rule about, talking about kids in that way. So that's why. But that's okay. You are absolutely allowed to text in. Propane Pimp says, and bring in Mark Pouliot. I know. I said that last hour. Marc-Antoine Pouliot is still not 40.
Well, that's how your trade idea is going to end. You're also going to be like, and then we also gain the rights to Mark Pouliot.
Yes.
And he becomes the third line center.
There you go. King of Fort Nasty says, I say Bowman give Montembeault 5 times 5.5. That'll get us there. I would not mind an offer sheet. If I'm the Edmonton Oilers, I don't know what year they have their draft picks, probably 2072. But I think an offer sheet now would be a real fine idea. And that's one of the reasons why I think that the Edmonton Oilers need, I don't know that anybody should be saying, well, Stan Bowman needs to go. But I think they have to stop doing things they've done in the past, like giving no movement clauses to everybody, including Larry, who brings in the fresh fish every day. You don't need to do that.
He's integral to the operation, however, Al. You forget this about Larry.
I was being facetious, said King of Fort Nasty. in this economy. Special guest George Larac, says Jim on Monday, just helping with your homework. George Larac is an excellent guest and a really interesting guy.
I met him one time. Made me carry his hockey bag when I had a fractured wrist. Shout out to George Larac.
I like him even more now. That's a funny story. Did it really happen?
Yeah, I was volunteering at Hockey Helps the Homeless or something like that.
Did he know you had broken a wrist?
I was wearing a cast, so it was pretty evident. He's like,
maybe just for show.
He was like, here you go, and like tried to put it on my left hand. I was like, oh, let me just take that for you, George.
He was a great fighter, man. I'm telling you. He didn't fight a lot, but it wasn't because he wasn't ready to do it. People just didn't want to fight him. He was, and you know what? He fought even when he wasn't at his best, and maybe he shouldn't have. He fought when he was asked. And he could keep the puck 73 miles from the net. I loved that about him. That was my favorite thing about George Larac. He'd cycle by himself, thrive guys on him, one guy on his back, and he's just not letting go of the puck, and everybody's getting a rest, and every once in a while they score a goal. I loved that fourth line that he was on. It was really cool. All right. I enjoyed today. I didn't think I was going to. I was a little grumpy today.
Hey, you got it all out of your system in the first segment.
Yeah,
Do you think me and Josh helped like lift the spirits?
Oh, sure. Yeah. No, you guys were great. And I really enjoyed your declinations today. It was some great ideas. All right. So Jason Krueger will be live on the radio here. I'm going to run to the car right now and tune in because I want to hear what he has to say about what happened and what is going to happen. This is going to be a very loud, noisy summer. Thanks so much for tuning into the Lowdown. Please enjoy your weekend.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly, 780-265-0165. NHL scheduled tonight, Tampa and Montreal at 5, Buffalo in Boston at 5:30, and Vegas in Utah at 8. Buffalo, Vegas, and Montreal all with the chance to end the series tonight, all up 3-2. In the NBA, 3 games as well. Detroit and Orlando at 5, Cleveland and Toronto at 5:30, and LA and Houston at 7:30. LA, Cleveland, and Orlando all with a chance to end their series tonight, also all up 3-2. In the MLB, 1 game right now. Cubs lead the Diamondbacks 6-1 in the top of the 5th. Rangers and Tigers will be up next at 4:40. And then at 5:40, at 6:10 today, we will see the Blue Jays and the Twins out in Minnesota. Corbin on the mound for the Jays, and you can hear that on Sports 1440 AM dial only. John Cooper, Dan Muse, and Lindy Ruff have been nominated for the Jack Adams Head Coach of the Year award, and Raptors All-Star Brandon Ingram downgraded to doubtful for that Game 6 versus the Cavs. I'm Declan Krueger. Up next is the Jason Krueger Show, and this has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a